Whether you're picking and grinning or just grinning, grab a drink, pull up a seat. It's time for Roots Music Rambler. Turn it up. Well, hello and happy August there, Ramblers. Welcome to another one of our Backstage episodes on Roots Music Rambler. These are generally shorter episodes where either just Francesca or I interview someone we find at a show, out and about, or sometimes virtually, so we can get right to the point of updating you on that artist, an event, or something like that. This week is a good one because I got the chance to catch up with the rocket ship that is becoming Hunter Flynn before a recent show he did in Louisville. Hunter and I met on the set of another podcast a few months ago. I was producing the Listen Honey podcast with Katie Combs, and I invited him to come on Roots Music Rambler then. Now, he got really busy shortly thereafter, signing with a record label, hiring a full band, getting into the studio to finish off his first full-length studio album. Hunter's story is quite amazing, which is one of the many reasons I wanted to have him on the show. Wait until you hear this, gang. It'll send chills up your spine, I promise. I caught up with Hunter after a sound check at the Mercury Ballroom here in Louisville in early July, and we were able to find a corner of the place to sit down and have a nice chat. Hunter has been compared quite often to Tyler Childers. He's got an amazing voice, deeply moving and touching songs, rugged good looks. All those things are true. And when my daughter Katie and I saw him at the Burl a couple of weekends ago for the Flood with Love event, I told her to pay close attention because this is what a rocket ship that's about to blast off looks like. I'll play a little bit of that sound check as we lead into the interview, then follow up with a little bit of his set at the Burl when we come out. So you'll hear a little bit of that wonderful voice and those great songs. Get ready for a good one, gang. Here's my chat with Hunter Flynn. She cried, Bobby, you've always loved me, but I've stood by you till the end. But I'd rather sing cold stone above you than see you in the arms of Tina. Welcome back to Roots Music Rambler. We are at the Mercury Ballroom today. A little, not really backstage episode, although we'll label it a backstage episode. We're actually in front of the stage upstairs because I finally got to catch up with the one and only Hunter Flynn. How about that? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Doing great. We talked 3 or 4 months ago, and at that point, everybody, the consensus in the room with Katie Combs and all the other people that were there were like, you're about to blow up. And the last 3 or 4 months, it's been this like incremental, like the noise keeps getting bigger and bigger. What's the last 3 or 4 months been like?
It has been like living inside a tornado.
Well, you've cut a couple of music videos. You've released a couple of singles. And it just seems like Nashville and everybody in the Americana space is really all abuzz about Hunter Flynn right now. What's that like going from, doing a spot at Laurel Cove and, road dogging it with you and a guitar, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, there's a pulse out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's been great. Don't get me wrong. I'm getting to do, the things that I've always been trying to do, and having a partner to help kind of push it out there and get it in front of more people has been great. But I'm just excited to be releasing music again. It's it'd been a long time, I think like a 1.5 years since I'd released a song before Wasted Day came out in May. Mm-hmm. And then Robbing a Bank out, and then I don't know when you're airing this, but I'm announcing in about an hour from now the next single that's coming out. Nice. It's called Dreams Keep Dying. It's going to be out on July 17th. So just less than 2 weeks away, and it's been great. It's hard to kind of keep your feet underneath you sometimes, especially with having to run around all the time, being the one that's producing and editing all the videos that we're making with my little brother and some other friends. there's just a lot going on all the time, playing the shows, writing the songs, you know. So
Well,
I think once it all kind of gets, you know, to where this becomes more normal for me, I think I'll have some time to kind of reflect back and
sure.
and laugh about some of the times where I wanted to cry.
Sure. Well, and I think some people don't. I don't think a lot of people out there know that you're so hands on with everything because you're really an artist in a more encompassing sense of the word. Tell everybody all the nuts and bolts that you do because I've seen some of your sketches that are fantastic.
Yeah, I'm drawing every single one of the cover art works for the singles. They're all charcoal on paper, usually pretty big. They take me, you know, anywhere from 25 to 35 hours most of the time to do. And then on top of that, I painted my album cover art. So I think might be announcing that here in the next month or so, and getting people to see that. So that'll be exciting. But on top of that, I'm also I'm shooting, editing, acting in my own videos. They the label has allowed me to kind of take full creative control on almost every aspect. Well, I guess every aspect of this. Mm-hmm. So the all the things that go into every single song that I am working on. There's so many different aspects of it, and I think that it's easy for people, like you said, to kind of slip past them or not realize, you know, that, you know, every aspect of this has my fingerprints on it.
Yeah,
and you know, most of it is done solely by me. So
sure.
I think that's probably, you know, like a control problem that I've got, but. I don't know. I've had this vision for all these songs and this whole thing, and you know, the saying goes, if you want something done right, you can do it yourself. And I'd rather do it that way than take a chance on, you know, somebody else not quite capturing the feeling or the vision that I have. So
sounds like something from a true Kentucky boy right there. I'm gonna do it myself, by God. Yeah. So I know that you mentioned it, but I want to make sure that we dig a little bit deeper into it. These singles typically are a cadence leading up to an album. Tell us what's coming this fall.
I don't know that I'm allowed to disclose a date yet, but I do have a full project coming out later this year in the fall, and there's more than your standard 10 or 12 song album. So there's quite a few tracks on there. And it really, I'm just trying to kind of touch every influence that I've had that has brought me here. So the sound is, it's got a pretty broad spectrum. I'm excited for people to hear it.
You're right.
That I didn't show off my freestyle skills yet, but maybe the sophomore album will have a little.
Okay. All right. We'll look forward to that. So I know that I've heard this story before, and I know you've probably told it more times than you care to, but all of the art that you create, all of the songs you write, the music you do, you know, you've got the look and feel of a singer-songwriter, but you were once upon a time an insurance salesman. Is that right?
That among many other things in my day.
Can you imagine this guy's like selling insurance? Like I'm sure you didn't dress like that.
Oh no, they were button up and
yeah.
No, it was I sold insurance for I guess like 9 months or something, and before that I worked for Home City Ice delivering ice. Before that I was a security guard at a Walmart for a little bit, worked in Olive Garden.
Nice.
Grew up working at my dad's pawn shop though, so.
Hey, I'm an OG alum. How about that?
Yeah.
I lasted 3 weeks.
Oh,
yeah. I was terrible.
Hey, not everybody's cut out to be a breadstick.
Exactly.
But it's the insurance salesman is kind of what I get labeled as, I guess, just because that was what I was doing whenever I finally made the transition. But it was we ran leads for that, which you know, it's not door to door. People are sending something in, and we did whole life, pretty much just burial insurance was what we were selling. And so for you just send something in for burial insurance, chances are you're probably not in great health.
Yeah.
And you probably don't have a lot to your name. And so, like I said, I grew up in a pawn shop. I've seen every walk of life you can imagine. And some of these houses that we were going to were the saddest situations that I've ever found myself in. And so to find, to try to go in there and sell them something was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And especially, we were anywhere within 8 hours of Louisville, actually. And so I'm, by myself in a hotel on the road 3 or 4 days a week, talking to all these people that are dying, and it was just killing me.
Sure.
And, I kind of started writing songs around that time and, really started trying to write songs and singing, I guess, as a coping mechanism. And I remember calling my dad one day and telling him, I was like, if I keep doing this, it's going to quit. This is going to kill me, And he told me for the first time in my life, he told me to quit something. So, of course, I had every excuse in the world for why I couldn't. But that weekend, I found myself headed north to Lexington on the interstate, and it was raining pretty hard, and I was driving too fast, my old 99 4Runner, and I came out from underneath this overpass and hit a puddle of water where the water was coming off the bridge, and started to hydroplane, cutting the wheel, pumping the brakes, nothing was happening, not responding at all. And as I started to turn perpendicular and seeing the oncoming traffic, I realized I didn't have a seatbelt on. And so I thought to myself, well, this is the end of my life. I've wasted 25 years. I've left nothing behind. I've done nothing I'm proud of. And, how have I spent my last few days? Selling insurance, not happy. And I realized at that moment that I wasn't ready to die. And I closed my eyes, let go of the steering wheel, and I flipped 3 times across all 3 lanes, 70 miles an hour, no seatbelt on. And whenever I stopped, I was upside down in the passenger seat. Didn't have but a few scratches and bruises on me.
Crazy.
My phone was under my right thigh whenever I started the wreck. Whenever I found it, it was about, 50 yards away. It took me 15 minutes crawling around on the ground to find it. Because nobody stopped.
Yeah.
It was raining so hard that nobody stopped.
Oh,
I'd say there's 15, 20 cars behind me and not a single person stopped. And the thing that really changed me, though, is when I kicked open that passenger door, my parents had got me a Bible for college graduation, and I kicked open that door and it was sitting there face up.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, if that's not a sign from God, then I don't know what is. And in those moments, I decided that I would never spend another second of another day not chasing or doing something that I loved.
Awesome.
And so.
And you haven't.
No, I moved back home after being gone for 7 years into my grandma's basement as a 25-year-old man. So how tough that had to be for me. But I started doing charcoal drawings for people and writing songs and going to open mic nights. And, eventually somebody asked me what I charged for a full set. And I was like, well, whatever the hell you're paying.
Yeah.
And that was in February of 2022. So since then, I've got to travel to over, I think it's up to 30-something states now, 31, 32 states.
Yeah.
I got to see the country with my little brother and meet a ton of people that, I call friends now. And, it's just been a truly great experience.
Yeah.
And, every day I feel lucky to even be, alive, much less singing songs for a living. So.
Tell us about the moment that, because you've been, road dogging for a few years. That's 4 years ago when you kind of started all this.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the moment when you got the call, or you knew, oh, somebody in Nashville's paying attention. I'm going to get a record deal out of this. This is going to be more than just playing bars with my guitar. I'm taking a level up. Tell us about that. When did that happen?
So we got a call in December of, I guess it was 2024. And I had started working with my now manager a couple months before that, and we'd already been kind of talking about going down to Nashville and looking for a publishing deal because I thought it'd be great to get paid for writing the songs that I'm writing anyway, and chance to somebody to hear it and cut one of my songs would be great. And then I wanted a booking agent, kind of like what you're saying. I was trying to get out of the bar scene and into a more listening room, venues that are made for playing music,
right.
And so that's what we were initially going down there to do. And whenever I got the call for a label, I just from what I had heard and obviously the control thing from me, I wasn't very interested in the idea at all.
Okay.
I went in. My manager kind of was like, "Well, let's go hear them out. Let's go see what what they have to say." And I was like, "Okay, well, I can do that," And came up with the idea of if they like me good enough, then they'll be willing to hear me out on what I want. And so I went in there and was like, "I'm looking for a partner. I'm not looking for a big, signing bonus and all this stuff and here you guys go run the show now. I'm looking for a partner to help, be in business with, to help get my music to new ears." And, from the beginning, the very first meeting that I had with Nash Harper and Big Machine, they were, on board. They kept me in the room playing songs for much longer than anticipated. The next meeting I went back and it was evident that they'd been talking about me and that they were interested, and they believed in my vision. We had people telling us that what I was asking for just wasn't a possibility at my level. That you had to go out and get it bigger on your own if you're looking for what I was looking for, and they believed in what I was doing and
Sure.
saw the vision, and they've been great partners ever since. So it's been really cool. For sure.
Bet. So I think it's easy for people when they hear your songs and even when they see you, because you're a skinny kid from the hills of Eastern Kentucky, got a little twang, got a little accent, got a pretty high range in your voice, write really interesting, good, clever songs. The comparisons to Tyler have popped up for you for several years now.
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine that that's probably flattering at first, but I would also imagine it might get old and maybe a little frustrating. So what's your take on, this is the next Tyler Childers?
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, if you saw a show whenever I was doing open mic nights or, even the first few shows, my set list probably was 65 to 70% Tyler Childers covers, And so, he was a huge influence on me. I remember listening to Bottles and Bibles and, Purgatory for the first time and just being, mind blown. So it is definitely, a compliment. I'm flattered that people draw a comparison there. But like you said, whenever you start to try to develop your own brand and your own thing, and, I was pretty adamant once I started having enough songs to play a full set of my own songs, that's all I wanted to do, I didn't get asked back to a lot of those drinking bars because I refused to play the cover songs that they wanted. So, now I think that it's more of whenever people say that, I'm the next Tyler Childers and stuff, I know that they mean well by it. And so it doesn't offend me ever. I just hope that, if they think that, then they are, they like him enough and they like what they're hearing from me enough to go check out my songs. And then I think it's pretty evident once you listen, for any amount of time outside of, a song or two, that we're pretty different in a lot of ways. And, like you said, pretty much the only similarities between what we're doing is the fact that we're Eastern Kentucky boys and, got a pretty high vocal range.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Well, I've always thought a comparison like that has to be a compliment first and foremost. But I also can see as your career develops and you're really building your own thing, at some point you've got to kind of, at least softly to yourself, draw a line and say, I'm not going to acknowledge that anymore. It's a compliment. It's great. But this is all about Hunter Flynn, and it's got to be all about Hunter Flynn. So I think you got a pretty good take on it. Last thing I wanted to ask you before we wrap up here, because you got a set to do tonight, and I want to let you get back to being prepared for that. The new album or new project, whatever it is, coming out into the year, got label support. You've got some buzz going for you. It's not hard to say, oh, fast forward a year and I'm going to be here, or fast forward 2 years and I'm going to have this. Are you looking far out into the future? Are you saying, hey, this rocket ship's getting ready to take off and I know exactly where it's going? Or do you have kind of a different take on what's going to happen 6 months from now, a year from now, et cetera?
I can't see past Friday.
It's Wednesdays. It's Wednesday. Right?
I think so.
He can't see past Friday. Okay.
Yeah. So I have no idea where it's going. I'm just, like I said, I believe in my songs. I believe in what I'm doing. I feel like I'm putting a lot of time and effort into making sure that, it is a complete work and vision, it's something I can be proud of. That's all I really care about. If I'm proud of it at the end of everything that I've done, then I don't care if it's just me and you listening to it,
Well, I'll definitely be listening to it. Shit. I'm already I listened to 10 songs on the way here today. So
well, I appreciate you, man.
He is Hunter Flynn, and he is the rocket ship about to blast off, and you better get on damn board, is what we're saying here on the Roots Music Ramblers. So Hunter, where can people find you on the internet and hear all your music on?
You can find me on any social media platform. It's Hunter Flynn on Instagram, but the using underscore. Spotify, YouTube. I put a lot of time and effort in those videos, so I appreciate it whenever people go listen on YouTube.
Gotta go watch Rob Banker. That's funny as shit. You're in makeup and everything.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Hunter Flynn, man, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, appreciate it.
Greener out my window, I'm leaving. It was reasonable doubt, and I'm fully sane. Hey, sweet margarita, how the hell did you know I need you? Don't you always feel so pleasing when you're down? Well, I got the green light, smoke my cares away, 'cause the day I'm not on paper. Got a white tail pipe and a 1.5. Mama, I'm on the road. Well, I thought about taking out the trash today. Said, fuck it, I'll get it later. I got the green light now for smoking fair.
That, my friends, is Hunter Flynn. I sure hope we'll get to talk to him again down the road, but with that kind of talent and potential, he might just get too big for our britches around here. Actually, he probably won't. He's a kid from Eastern Kentucky, and we all have a tendency to remember and look out for our own. So hopefully we'll check in with Hunter Flynn after he's become a big star one day. But fun chat, and I cannot wait for his new album to come out. There's a couple singles out there already. The album will be called Hunter Flynn. You've got to catch this guy live, though, man. His tickets are probably going to be hard to come by in the not too distant future. And that voice and his songs will just blow your face off. Go see Hunter Flynn. Hunter's music and visual art also, which we talked a little bit about in the chat, can be found online at hunterflynn.com. We'll have links to that and his socials, including his Spotify account in our show notes at rootsmusicrambler.com. And remember, if you're looking for a specific episode, you can always use our short URL pattern, which is rootsmusic.link/ and the person's name. So this episode will be at rootsmusic.link/ Hunter Flynn, all together as one word in the URL. Coming up next week, Sam Morrow will be with us here on The Big Show. Frank will be back with me for that episode, a regular full interview and show, which means we'll have our regular pick of the grinning recommendations and more. That show drops next Friday, August 14th. Roots Music Rambler is a production of Falls and Partners, copyright 2026. Our theme music is Sheepskin and Beeswax by Gentacorum. Join us online at rootsmusicrambler.com and make sure you mash that subscribe or follow button so you remember to join us for the next Hold Down and Throwdown. For Frank, I'm Falls, and whatever you do, kids, ramble on.